Um, Hi, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning back into Expats Living. I'm back with another interviewee, and I am excited about this woman. Her name is Sapphire. I'm going to give her the floor so she can introduce herself.
Hi guys, my name is Sapphire Star. I am originally from Savannah, Georgia, but I am now a self-proclaimed world citizen.
I love that.
Yes,
Self-proclaimed world citizen. I love that.
yes, yes.
Well, perfect. Well, we can actually segue right into that. So, first of all, tell me what you mean by that, self-proclaimed world citizen.
So I've been all over the world. Originally for me, I basically organized my finances, got my money together, and began living the life that I felt like I deserved. And even though I was extremely fearful, extremely afraid to be able to step out and do those things, I eventually, at the age 35, paid off all my debt, boost my credit score, started investing in the stock market, fired my boss, and began traveling the world. So I've been to 20 plus countries and county, and it would have been 52 had not COVID hit. If we weren't in a pandemic. I had a 25 country world tour lined up, but that didn't happen. But it's okay. It turned into the Hawaiian Island tour. So here we are.
It.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes.
So I do have a question for you. So it says here, like, what were you actually looking for in another country? Actually, before we answer that, where are you from first? Let's do that. Where are you from? And then let me know what you were looking for in another country.
Okay, so I'm from Georgia, United States, Savannah, Georgia, and I've been living in Atlanta, Georgia for the past 10 years now. So Atlanta is what I call my hub. My hub, my home is where I springboard from. And so from there, and then like I said, my financial journey and me becoming a world citizen and me exploring different cultures, experiencing different people, because my journey started for me personally. I wanted to travel the African diaspora, right? I wanted to go from the port of Savannah, Georgia, through the Caribbean, through South America, all the way to the slave castles in Ghana. And that's where my journey and that's where my experiences have taken me. So through all that, I always knew in the back of my mind, I wanted to have a second home. I wanted to have a safe haven. I wanted to have a place where I can create generational wealth, as well as creating options for my children's children's children. So it was important for me, because I grew up on the coast. It was important for me to have warm weather. It was important for me to have affordability, because I wanted to always be able to maintain the quality of life that I am accustomed to. And it's not that it's this extravagant life, it's a simple life, it's a happy life. So anything that's conducive to that. So for me, it's warm weather, it's good people, it's community. It's important for me to be able to connect to the Black community, even if I'm not in America. That's extremely important to me. So Black and brown people, definitely a beach. I need a beach. Like the beach is my happy place, and again, me being able to logistically, because I have a granddaughter, so and my daughter wants 5 children. So also I need logistics. I need to be able to not be too far from the States, but far enough where I feel like, okay, I can go back and forth. So those are the things that were extremely important to me.
Okay, I love that. So that's what you look for so what do you consider?
And affordability. I forgot to say affordability too.
Right. Facts.
Yeah, right.
So in regards to you choosing, actually, so you know what you're looking for in a country, but what actually made you like choose this lifestyle? Like, are you considered a digital nomad, or you're an expat? What?
So for me, it was freedom, right? So, and that's the most important thing for me in my life, being able to live freely. And that's the title of my book, being able to work whenever, wherever. So it's not necessarily I consider myself a digital nomad, even though I do work online and digitally, but I create a life of freedom. So I create a life where my money is working for me. So I don't have to actively work for my money. So the most important thing for me to be able to live what I call a little R&R, right? Remote and residual. That's the key. That's the goal for me, to be able to work anywhere in the world. So obviously that's me creating my own, I'm an entrepreneur. So I have my own business, a coaching consulting business. So I can do that anywhere in the world. I always tell people, get you a .com, get you a .com, and that gives you the freedom to do whatever, whenever, right? So I have a .com. I also invest in the stock market. So that's my money, I have passive income. So while I'm sleeping, while I'm at the beach, while I'm enjoying the community that I'm exploring, my money is working for me. So that's the key for me, just a freedom lifestyle, being able to do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do, not being locked into the rat race matrix, because that was the most important thing for me, is to be able to escape that, to be able to create a lifestyle where I, again, can do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do. I'm not tethered to anybody's time clock or schedule.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Okay. So, okay. Do you coach in regards to, because I know that you said you have a book, are you also a coach?
Yes, I'm a financial life coach. So through my personal experience, I partner with people and teach them how to manage how to, organize their finances to live the life they deserve. Because I get asked this question all the time in my travels. So what do you do? Like, how are you? It really is coded, right? Really what they mean is, how do you have the time and money? Because that's really what's stopping most people from living the life they want to live. It's always, well, I don't have the time and I don't have the money, right? So I created a financial life coach business. I partnered with people and help them organize their finances so they can live the life that they deserve. And really it's about creating wealth, but not so much about money, but how to create more time, freedom, and passion in your life, because that's what wealth is really all about. It's about having more time to do the things you love. So that's what I do. I coach and I help people create that lifestyle for themselves. Because again, it's not just about money, even though we start with the finances, but you'll be amazed the habits that you can create in your life, that you do create in your life once you begin organizing your finances, how it can spill over to all areas of your life. Just the discipline it takes to, start saying, you know what, I'm gonna tell my money what to do instead of wondering where it went. That same discipline, those same habits can spill over into your mental health, your physical health, how you take care of yourself and what you eat in your nutrition. It's all about creating habits for success. And so that's what I do with people. I teach them, not just, is like I said, that's why I call it financial life coach, because it's not just about finances, it's about how to get your money right, but it's about how to get your money right so you can live the life that you deserve, manifest your life that you dream of, that you think that is only, resigned to a certain group of people, and more importantly to my people that look like me, talk like me, or from where I'm from. I want to empower them through my life experiences to show them that you can live whatever, don't let anything or anyone stop you from living your best life. You have the power within yourself to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. Because I came from the projects of Savannah, Georgia, and Geechee Gullah, and I was a teen mom. I got pregnant at 13, I had my child at 14, and I've been grinding and working hard ever since. But something always was in me, was like, there's more to life, and you're going to have that. And I'm living the life that I literally dreamed and thought of in my mind way before it ever manifested itself.
Wow, that's awesome. That's so dreamy. It's so dreamy, but it's a reality.
It's a reality, yeah. That's why I say my hope is that I can empower others to live their life. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love that. So you already touched on three of these. So what tools I have a question here, tools for creating generational wealth. So like, do you have tools for creating generational wealth, or you have like some words of wisdom to pass off, or you have a program?
Absolutely, absolutely. The tools for creating generational wealth, and this is very basic, it's very simple. I always say, it used to be keep it simple, stupid, but that's, that can be offensive. So just keep it super simple, right? And so I don't know if you can cuss on here, but I have this I have this basic philosophy of no plan, do, right? And I always talk about investing, talk about money, but the most important thing you can do is invest in yourself. You are your biggest asset. So if you want to create generational wealth, if you want to organize your finance, the first thing I tell people is to change your mindset. It starts in your mind. If you say, I am wealthy, you're already planting the seed to create the lifestyle that you want. Then you have to cultivate that thing. So you have to learn as much as you can about creating generational wealth. So you have to know, then you create a plan, you create a strategy. I always tell people, track your money, figure out, have a financial snapshot, see where you are. You can't know where you're going if you don't know where you are, right? So it's important to create a roadmap, right? So if you're going somewhere, if you plan on traveling somewhere, you got to know where you're going. And that's what that creating a roadmap, creating a plan, creating a budget, a cash flow plan. That's telling your money where to go. And then you save. And a lot of us work 40 hours a week, and most Americans don't save 22 minutes of that. And what that breaks down to is that we're not even saving 2% of our money, right? So you're working 40 hours a week and you're not paying yourself. It's important to pay yourself, and it's important to save your money and create an emergency fund because things happen, right? And then outside of creating an emergency fund, obviously you need to pay off debt. Debt is negative wealth. If you're in debt and you're trying to hustle, you're hustling backwards because you're paying somebody else compound interest, right? So it's important if you have high interest debt, not all debt is bad debt, but if you have high interest debt, it's important to eliminate debt to start creating wealth. And then once you start paying yourself, you start saving, then you start investing your money, right? And investing is just investing in assets, right? Things that grow your money, things that take your money more than 3 to 4, 5%. Because if your money is not sitting in an account, and I'm not talking about your emergency fund, that needs to be liquid. If your money is not sitting in an account growing at least 3 to 4%, you're losing value due to inflation. Your money is actually losing value, losing purchasing power. So you have to create a vehicle, and stock market is a great way to do that. It's not the only way, but it's a great way because you can start investing in the stock market for as little as $1. Like you can I literally took $100 and grew my portfolio to over 6 figures in the stock market just by saving, paying myself, and putting my money in compound interest. That's money on top of money on top of money, right? And then you just execute. You just every day create habits, small habits to get you to where you're going. And one of these.
Like that was a whole interview in itself, and that actually should have been separate. I feel like that should have been a whole separate interview, and I'm gonna try to figure out how I can get that done because
absolutely, I'm here for it.
I think you are very knowledgeable in regards to the financial the financial realm, but then also you're very knowledgeable in the expat realm, and I think that we mix these two interviews together, and they definitely totally need to be separate because you are.
And they actually, but they, they actually go hand in hand because it's the finance that got me to freedom. It's the organizing my finance that got me to a lifestyle where I can say, you know what, I'm gonna fire my boss, or I'm gonna take a career break, or I'm gonna stop working for a year. All that began with financial, like my financial and location independent, it came with becoming debt free and financially free. So it really go hand in hand. For me, it doesn't, is for at least.
For everybody, actually, now that you done said that, because there's no way that you can live this type of life if you're not working on your finances. If you're not, you're gonna be sent back to the States.
Yeah.
To start over.
And then on the other side of that too, like this expat life helps you also, and with your finance, because it's the affordability piece of it. It's because I always tell people it's not enough just to get freedom, right? It's not enough. You got to be able to maintain and keep it, right? So becoming an expat for me was like, okay, I can continue to live freely all the way to the grave. And not just for me, I can then pass the baton to my children, to my children's children's children. And so that was another thing for me too. So it's almost like they work together as a unit cohesively or whatever, because it's, you know, it's getting freedom and then it's keeping and maintaining your freedom, because freedom ain't free.
Freedom ain't free. Oh my goodness. Explain that. I need you to explain that. Freedom ain't free. Now I need an answer to that. Like, I need that to be explained. We can't just leave that sentence as it is.
Right. Like, yeah, because it's basically because, like I said, it's maintaining this lifestyle. And how are you going to maintain this lifestyle if you have debt looming over your head, right? You got these responsibilities where, because a lot of people are working jobs that they don't like, not because they want to, because they have to. Right? So if you take that out of the equation, and then that frees up your time, right? That frees up your creativity, right? Because even in this, even if you say, well, you know what, I get to a place and I'm like, okay, how can I maintain this? But now that you have eliminated a lot of stress, a lot of overhead, a lot of things that you're worrying about, now you have space in your mind creatively to be in a place and be like, okay, what can I do to keep my freedom? Right? That's the part, freedom ain't free. You're going to work for it, but it's a difference when you're working for something that you want to work for versus something that you do not work for because you have to. That's the difference. I always tell people, they're like, oh, well, you know, I want to retire, but I don't know if I can retire. Or, you know, we have this mindset, this Western culture is that, you know, work 40, 50 plus years, then retire. But the question is, what is retirement? Retirement simply just means work is optional. That's all it means. So do you have to wait to 65 to make that happen? No, you can make that happen today by creating residual income, because that's all retirement is. You work to get a nest egg, then you got residual income, and then working is optional. So you can literally scale that back and create a lifestyle now where you just create your own residual income, you know, and then, like I said, the different ways you can do that. And then working is optional. Your money is working for you. You don't have to work for it, and you're retired.
It's the hallelujah moment for me. Like, it's just, I just need to seal it with a little hallelujah. Yes, that is very good. Okay, so I believe that you have literally answered all these questions. You said a little, you touched on the Black community just a little bit, but I would like for you to just share anything about the Black community abroad. Because I mean, most of us kind of know what the Black community is if we're Black, if we grew up in the United States, we kind of know what it is. But abroad, it's different, but it's the same.
It's totally different, especially for me coming from Atlanta, what people call like the Black Mecca, where we're concentrated. And like I said, I've been all over the world. And like I said, that was something that was important for me as an expat, to be able to see Black and brown people and be connected, right? And so, like I said, I was looking for another place. And the only other place I would say that I visited and I've been to, because don't get it twisted, we are everywhere. We are everywhere I've visited, every place I've explored, we are there, right? And we are living, we are thriving, right? Because I always get confused. They start, whatever language is in that country, whatever culture, you know, they think, oh, they start speaking. Even when I was in Cuba, they start speaking to me in Espanol. They think I'm Afro-Cubana, but it's like, we are everywhere. So don't let anybody tell you any different. But it was something for me when I went to Ghana, right? And I was in Ghana and I literally did not want to leave. It was just like, oh my God, like it was just Black everything, you know? And it was just very euphoric for me because I had, you know, like I said, I've been all over the world, but again, it was just a feeling that I want, that when I land in the place, is this a place that I can live for, you know, a very long period of time. But Ghana is really far, right? I have a granddaughter and I'm going to have more grandchildren. So I was like, oh, you know, Ghana wasn't it for me, even though it was it for me. I was like, I can totally live here. But when I moved to Mexico and I connected with the Black community here, literally when I flew in, less than a week, it was a feeling that I got, and I was like, I am home. And outside of Ghana, I had never felt that in any other country. Not that I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't, you know, an experience for me, but it was a feeling that I got here that was like, this is it. This was it, because I felt like it's just that community piece, because we are community oriented people, you know, Black people are. And so it was just to be in a place where you can connect and you can grow and build together. It was just like, I am here. Like I said, I don't know how to explain it other than the fact that it was a feeling that I got, you know, when I came to Playa del Carmen, like, this is it. This is home.
Right, exactly how I felt once I got plugged in the community. This is home. It feels so much like
Very
a familiar
familiar.
place, like home.
Familiar. It feels very familiar. Very familiar. And the love here and the support here is just mine. I didn't even know this was here. Had no idea. Blew my mind. I was like, what? We out here? Yes. We are out here. We are winning. I'm here for it. I am here for it.
Out here deep and just
Yes.
full of so much culture, so much Black culture, so much Black experience, and we're literally in a foreign land. That's what really blows my mind. Like, it's blowing my mind. I'm like, yo, I'm real life in Mexico.
Yeah.
Hanging out with Black people, doing Black people things. Like, what?
It's like you have to come here to see it and experience it for yourself. Words really can't even, sometimes it's hard for me to find words to really describe what it is. Like, you literally have to come here and see it for yourself. And it's unfortunate that, you know, in all my travels, like, in terms of privilege as an American, I feel more American outside of America than I ever have inside of America, and how people treat you, how people look at you, because they just look at you as oh, you're American, not Black American, African American. You're American, you know? And like I said, I've never felt more American than I have, like, outside of America. And like I said, it was important for me to have a place, a safe haven where there is just not this underlying fear that's always happening when I'm home. Like, it's always just like, you know, this fear of the police, this fear of, you know, what's going to happen, like, what's going to happen with my children, what's going to happen to my Black nephews, my Black sons, like, what's going to happen, like, it's a constant state of fear, like post-traumatic slave syndrome, like, it is real. And to be in a place where you feel protected, you know, like, that is so very important to me, so important to me.
Yeah, that's good. I really like the protected, the feeling protected part, because the United States as a whole, they really don't care about their humans. They don't care about their citizens. You can see it, what they allow in the food. Just as simple as that, what they allow to be placed in the food, it shows they just don't care about us. Like, they don't care about their humans. They don't care about their people. So even just that, but then you go into the Black community or the brown community, and they're literally killing us. Like, they don't have respect for human life. And it's
human beings, right?
Yeah, it's a very terrible experience to have when you are that Black culture or that brown culture or that minority culture. Because right now the Asians, from what I'm seeing on social media, they're being attacked right now. So it's
and unfortunately, these are not new things. These headlines are not new. They just keep happening over and over. And I'm like, when is enough? Like, what has to happen? I don't understand. And even if you're not a Black and brown person, how is it as a human being, you don't just identify and say, hey, enough is enough. Enough is, as a human being, how can you just be like, stand and even like support something or perpetuate something of that nature? I have no understanding, because even if I see someone that don't look like me, but they're being mistreated, as a human being, I'm gonna have compassion, I'm gonna have sympathy, I'm gonna have empathy, I'm going to care. I'm not gonna be like, well, you know, all lives matter, you know, but y'all don't keep that same energy when we're being dragged and killed in the streets and hung from trees. Like, where's that same all life matter energy? I'm just really baffled at where does all life come from? Because it wasn't there before. It wasn't until we started saying and proclaiming for ourselves, our lives matter. Now you want to say all lives matter? That's interesting.
Yeah, that has never been a true thing in the United States. It has been presented as a true thing, but it has not been the whole actions of the United States does not align with all lives matter. Just period.
It does not. And the fact that they're politicizing it as well. It's like, oh, Black Lives Movement becomes this political movement of, okay, this is a more democratic thing. I'm like, this is not a political thing. This is a humanity thing. Like, why are we politicizing this? Like, I get it, but I'm just like, I saw somewhere that was during the election season, they had the ballots and they were like, oh, if you're for Black lives, you're over here with the Democrats. Like, what?
Exactly. It's either you are for people getting killed wrongfully by the cops, or you're not for
right.
the cops just out here killing people. I mean, it's not. I don't know how you put that on a ballot. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get it. But you know, like I said, in my mind, enough is enough, you know, and I try not to get on my soapbox about that because I get extremely emotional. I get really emotional because I care about our people. And that's why, you know, for me, my contribution to the Black Lives Movement is, you know, finances, because, you know, they'll listen. The two things they'll listen to is how you affect their money and when you start talking about war, like fighting. So finance or fighting, those are two things, that's the language that they speak. So once you start talking that language, then they won't have a choice but to listen. So I always tell people, I was like, we don't no longer have to beg for a seat at the table. We can build our own table.
Let them know. And on that note, we will definitely segue to closing this out. That sounded like some words of wisdom, but what words of wisdom would you like to leave with the people?
Oh gosh, like I have this quote. I have so many quotes that I listen to every day, but one in particular that just is standing out to me right now is one by Nelson Mandela. And he was basically like, what right do we have not to be great? Right? So if there is something going on in your life, if there's a situation, if it's finances, if it's emotional, it's mental, it's physical, whatever your challenges may be in life, like what right do you have not to be great? And you have every right to be great. You have everything you need in life to be exactly who you are supposed to be once you dig deep within, right? And that's what freedom is all about. It's just no fear, no fear. Nina Simone may say the best, it's no fear, be, period.
And on that note, thank you so much, Sapphire, for doing this interview with me. It was rich. I'm telling you, I gotta go back and listen to this, and I need to talk to you separately about the finances. So I'll definitely be in your ear about that, in your face as well, because you're out here and flying with me. So thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for doing
this. Thank you for having me. This has been a pleasure.
Yeah. So tell the people how they can follow you, how they can get in touch with you.
Absolutely. My website is www.organize-chaos.com. Again, that's organize-chaos.com. I'm also on Instagram at Sapphire Star 2Rs_travel.
Perfect. And I'll have all of that in the description underneath the YouTube channel. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and be sure to subscribe, like, and follow. All right, bye.